Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. Ed Talks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. A topic for the discussion is student suspension or expulsion, and does it help? And to express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us Mrs. Ankita Rajput ma'am, Principal of Sri Bhagwan Mahavir Educational Trust Jain Vidyalaya CBSE School, and Mrs. Vamshri ma'am, Principal of MVJ International School, Karnataka. Very welcome to both of you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very welcome,
Thank you.
Vamshri ma'am. We're
Thank you
so
so
glad
much.
to have
Thank
you
you.
here. Before moving forward, let me introduce. Okay, before moving forward, thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out your precious time. So, can we begin off with this session now?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
All right. So,
sure.
firstly, what are the effective ways of maintaining decorum at school? Over to you, Ankita, ma'am.
A very good afternoon or good morning to one and all who are here. And I'm very glad that you have given me this opportunity on this platform. Actually, decorum of the school are the various rules. In our school, especially, we create a bondage between our students. And actually, when you have given this opportunity to me, when you have spoken to me, I have told you that I'm having the experience of past 20 years, and from 20 years in our school, we have not given the punishment to any child. They we the teachers, we are having a great bondage. We are having a mother-child bondage. Our school is a child-centered school, and due to that, the children they obviously automatically they follow the rules. They follow the decorum of the school. So we never feel any problem there that to give a punishment for any concept for the student at all. So punishment or detention or suspension, even personally, I'm completely against of it. In our Kannada, there is one saying which I used to say that the child has to learn with lot of fun, not by the stress. ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ means the child has to learn with a lot of fun. When he is coming to the school, when he is getting up in the morning, he must be eager to come to the school. Actually, the every child, every student used to have lots of dreams. When he comes to the school having the bag on his shoulder. His bag won't contain the books and the notebook. According to me, they are bringing lots of dreams to the school. They used to have lots of expectation that today my math teacher is going to teach me this, my English teacher is going to teach me this, I'll learn today this, I'll learn today that, I'll get a good from my teacher. My teacher will say to very good to me, she will appreciate me or he will appreciate me. I'll get a star in my homework notebook. All these dreams they used to collect in the night. They keep it in their bag. In the morning they hand that bag on their shoulder. They come to the school. So here the most important role is of the teacher. How she is going to turn those dreams into a concrete form. It's an abstract noun which she has to bring it in concrete form. So when she is bringing in a concrete form, that depends on that teacher. It's an individual concept. According to me, the teacher is taking it a personal level, individual care, then there is no need of it because once appreciation it motivates the child and child will follow the decorum of the school. Don't think there is any problem making any child to follow the decorum of the school. This is my opinion. Anything else you want, I can talk over that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Ankita, ma'am. That was really well said.
Now, one application. I'm Anita Rajput, not Ankita. Please call me Anita. Anita
Ankita,
Rajput.
ma'am.
A9. Okay, right.
So, over to you, Vamshi, ma'am. Do you agree with the suspension or expulsion policy? Should students get counseling or warnings before getting this punishment?
Thank you. Thank you so much for this lovely question. I hope I'm audible in
Yes, ma'am.
in any kind of action. If people can tell me, that's more than enough.
That was lovely question. But before we go ahead, I would like to add on to something about decorum and then go ahead with expulsion as well as suspension. I hope that's okay with everyone
Yes, ma'am.
and also with my panel member. When we say decorum, decorum begins in everything, it ends in everything as well. A decorum of the kitchen, a decorum of a dining hall, a decorum of a restaurant, a decorum of a school, a decorum of a corridor, a decorum of a field, sports field, or a laboratory. Basically, it starts off with the ethics what children need to maintain. Now, in connection to that, we have what is called as suspension as well as expulsion. I would say suspension is something which leads to expulsion, and expulsion is to a higher degree when compared to suspension. Why do we need to do so? Is a big question. Do we really need to do to get the discipline in practice or the conduct management into practice? Because for a smooth flow of a content management in a classroom, or for a covenant management where we are trying to build in the moral principles, values, and systems back again in classroom. Because we all know for sure things cannot be imposed on children, right? If they have to self reflect on their work, if they have to build in that kind of self awareness, then I don't think suspension and expulsion would take place at all. But if at all we are bringing the suspension, maybe to mend them back into the decorum, maybe to alert them back into the decorum, which is feasible to all others to live uniformly and to respect one another uniformly. So, in my opinion, a suspension is like a consequence for one kind of an act which cannot be publicly accepted or probably in an institution to accept something which is beyond their rules and regulations. When compared to expulsion, suspension can be of a lesser degree. If I think about the expulsion, it goes to a higher degree because there is no reversal. In a suspension, maybe you give around 1 week's time, 2 days' time, or 3 days' time, and the child may rectify, reflect on the actions that he has done or she has done, and revert back. But in case of expulsion, it is completely just like a rocket out of projectile motion. It is just out. We cannot again grasp it back into the system. This is what I would like to mention about these two terminologies that you have raised. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a really wonderful brief by you. Thank you so much, Vamshi, ma'am. So, my next question over to you, Anita, ma'am. Do you think suspension or expulsion of student is the correct way to handle students breaching the code of conduct?
No, ma'am. According to me, it is completely wrong way. As Priya just said to us, that once you are going for the expulsion means the rocket has been launched. You have given the punishment to the child. It means you have generated or you have aroused the anger in the heart and mind of the child. Once it has happened, they will become stubborn. At that time, you cannot bring them on the code. You cannot make them by force to follow the decorum of the school. No, we have to teach them properly. Just as one example, suppose the child is not following some school principle. At that time, we have to give them examples. See, the soldiers are there on the border. They are following all the principles. If those soldiers will not follow their principle, what will happen to this country? What will happen to our society and what will happen to our family and what will happen to us? Like that only, if you are not following the decorum of this school today, how will you follow the decorum of the society tomorrow? The decorum of the country day after tomorrow. You are the future of this country. These things had to be taught in a proper manner and every child will accept now. They are also human beings. So we have to treat them as a human being. They came to us, they used to come to us to learn. Their punishment and all these things is not a correct way at all. They'll not come on that track. Even they'll leave that track. And one thing, being a teacher, we have to remember if they are going a right path, they are our student, we have to proud of it. If they are taking the wrong path, they are also our student and we have to know the responsibility. So when we are keeping this in our mind at that time, these two topics which are terminology which you have given, suspension, detention and expulsion, it is not needed. It is not a correct way. According to me, I am completely against of it. Rest of the things differ, but if we teach them with the love and affection, if one bondage is there, everyone will learn. That I want to say. Not necessary at all in the school, even in the colleges. That is from my side.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Anita ma'am. Thank you so much. So, Vamshi ma'am, over to you. Other than suspension or expulsion, do you think detention is the right step to deal with the students breaking the rules?
Um, uh, Again, I would like to mention, see, both expulsion and suspension, to some extent, it is required to discipline the children. But after we have some kind of an experience, if the child is given a chance to reflect, hey, why, what made my teachers or what made the system to take the strong action of suspension? What is it that I can mend? What is it that is out of my reach, my scope? What is it that makes me better human being? If these questions, reflective observations and reflective questions are put up by the child, then he or she becomes a self-aware, self-reflected, intrapersonal, strong intrapersonal human being. In that case, if we do not term it as detention but ask them to stay back for few hours to reflect upon their actions, then I would call it as consequence given to mend their actions rather than the term detention. See, the minute you use the term detention, it is a negative antenna that we are raising with children, right? And it depends how sensitive are children, whether they would like to take it positively and think about the consequences for their actions, or they would take it negatively. And also, we say, in contrary, that corporal punishment are to be avoided. So this is like a punishable offense, right? If I'm thinking from the perspective of all children with unique brains in front of me. So in such a case, if it has to be welcoming for a child to say, this was my kind of an action, and hence I am supposed to do this, let me take it up. Let me embrace it and mend my actions would be the right way. So we need to avoid the term called detention. It is not certainly a synonym to your suspension or expulsion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Anita ma'am and Vamshi ma'am. So it was really lovely to have you both of you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So for all the
Thank
viewers
you.
Very
watching us,
Uh,
sorry, ma'am.
I said thank you so much, Entab, for giving us this opportunity. You know something, you should just touch upon our heart and we will explode. That is the kind of love we have towards children. You know, at the I would just say it is just like a fruit before ripening. You know, it is in the shade of the leaf and it is well protected. So I think we are all here to protect our children. Nobody would love to use the words like expulsion, suspension, detention as funny words, right?
Thank
So
you so much,
I
Vamshi ma'am. Anita
thank
ma'am, would you
Every
like to add
child,
something to it?
every child used to have his or her own unique nature. They used to have their own talent. Maybe they are not suitable to us or whatever the class wise or what, but they have to be given a proper chance. If their talent has been given a proper chance, they won't disobey the things, they won't break the rules, they will follow all that according. But when they are not getting the proper chance to their talent or they are not getting the satisfied answer of their question, at that time this all happens. Just as WELL well is good also. WELL well means a place where we are going to fetch the water. The child is asked question at that time. Depend on teacher. Child teacher says to the child, "Oh, you shut up. What I'm teaching you, learn it." Next time the child won't follow any decorum of the school. So it depends. We have to satisfy his query, his quench of thirst. Once it's satisfied, no child will break any decorum of the school because they are coming there to learn that, not to break that. So all the punishment or whatever the words you are using, it should not be there in the dictionary of a teacher or in a dictionary of a school. Child must get abundant love and affection, abundant bondage from the teachers and the school, and you see what will be the future of our country. That I want to say and request to everyone that these words we have to eliminate from our teaching profession and see the fruit as Priya ma'am said that they are the unfolded fruit, ripening fruits. So we'll get the best fruit in our country. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to us, giving this platform. And this topic really, as Yavam said, it touches our heart. This is very close to the teacher. Every teacher wants to give a lot of things to the children. But sometimes some hiccups occur. We fail or the student won't get their proper channel. So have let us try together and come to a final conclusion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anita ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both of you, ma'am. So, for all the viewers
Thank you.
watching us, please subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.